right, guys, we've got a little bit of a request video here. So a person that lives in the area contacted me about their turn signals not working on their 2012 Infiniti GX37. They're a little bit of a do-it-yourselfer. They tried to do the job themselves and they went onto YouTube and they could not find any videos that show how to remove the turn signal assembly from this particular car. There's lots of them with removing the clock spring. Hell, I think I have a couple of them myself, but not removing the turn signal assembly. So he asked if I would do the work. He already has the part right here. So we've got the part here. You can see the challenge with this. It's going to go behind the steering wheel. It actually goes behind the clock spring, I believe. I'm not entirely sure. And he wanted me to do the video just so he could see how to do it, because he kind of got started in it and realized, whoa, this seems a little bit involved. All right, now the first thing, a lot of you guys may be thinking, well, wait a minute, this is going to be a clock spring problem, right? Because the steering wheel controls, everything like that, go through the clock spring. So actually at the guy's house, I did check that because I thought the same thing. He's going to need a clock spring. But when you look at the wire diagram on this model, the turn signals actually do go independent of the clock spring. So the clock spring actually has nothing to do with turn signals on this model. The other thing is that it does go to the BCM. Even through the switch itself, everything is digital. So the signaling from the turn signal switch goes to the BCM, and then the BCM activates the turn signals left and right. So basically what I was able to do was see there's no input from the switch at the BCM, but if I put an input to the BCM, the turn signals will work. So there is no question about it. That's how we know that we're going to fix it by replacing the turn signal switch assembly. So just in case you were wondering. All right, so the first step, because we're going to be dealing with the airbag, it's going to be safest if we disconnect the battery, so let's start with that. All right, we're going to disconnect the negative of the battery there, and if we wait like maybe 10 minutes or so, that should be sufficient that we won't accidentally set off the airbag, which, to be honest with you, wouldn't happen anyway. Normally I do this with the battery connected because I'm not even concerned about that. I'm only concerned if there's like a tip over sensor that I'm working with or something like that. Obviously a steering wheel won't have one, but for the purposes of this video, we're going to be safe and disconnect the battery. All right, mostly to improve the quality of the video here, this is a hood light, but you can also use these hood lights on the interiors of the car like this. Get a bit more light onto the steering wheel for us there. All right, if we look on the side of the steering wheel, got this little cover here. Different models have different ways of doing this. We're just going to pop that cover off with a pick. And if we look in there, we've got a Allen socket. Well, it's a security Torx, actually. And this tamper-proof Torx that we're going to tamper with is, it looks like a T30 is what I measured up. Now, there's also an identical setup on the other side of the steering wheel, so you'll have to remove both of those. All right, because I'm so resourceful, I'm just going to flip the wheel around here like this so I can easier get this second one without having to reach across the passenger side of the vehicle. Kind of sticking in there. These bolts have some blue Loctite on them that makes this a little bit tricky sometimes, and you also want to be really careful you don't strip them out too. So do not attempt to do this with anything but the correct Torx bit. So I'm going to use my Van pliers, which I actually just reviewed on my tool channel, and if I can fit these in here, I'm definitely going to be able to grab that. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to straighten the wheel back out. And for the rest of this, we're going to try to keep this wheel in exactly the 12 o'clock position there. This airbag should just pop out now, but be careful because you're going to have your connectors there. And these connectors are best removed with a little pick tool again. The pick tool comes in really handy on this particular application. We want to just lift the black connector up like that, and then you should just be able to pull the connector right off, or we can just pry it off like that. You also see they're color coded here, so we don't have to mark these. Again, just get that black tab lifted up, and then you should just be able to disconnect it. There goes our airbag. Now there's a special procedure for storing these. In the unlikely event the airbag deploys, we don't want it to shoot up into the ceiling or across the shop or something like that. So we're going to set it here so if it deploys into the floor and it'll be a lot safer. It's not going to deploy. All right, got a little ground wire here. I think we should just be able to pull right off. We also got a little gray connector here. Looks like we got a little tab right there. I think my pick tool may come in handy for that. All right, my apologies for the camera work here. Here, I can be like all the other videos on YouTube. There we go. How do you like that, guys? Hey, just remove that connector right there on the left. See that connector right there on the left? You just go ahead and remove that. And, all right, so now we need to remove the steering wheel itself. I think that's all the connections here. Got this nut in the center here. It looks like a 19 millimeter there. Easiest to do this with an impact, or you're going to really be fighting the steering wheel. There we go. All right, now, one of the things I'm going to do, while I'm pretty sure the steering wheel only will fit on one way, there are, if you look very closely, a couple of alignment marks there to make sure that you put the steering wheel on exactly as it came. It actually looks like this may have been removed because it looks to me like it's off about a tooth. What do you think? Looks to me like it's off like one tooth or so, but I'm going to mark those with yellow paint just to make it easier for me to see, and this will ensure that I line it up. I'm pretty sure the wheel only goes on the one way anyway, but if I can adjust it one tooth or so, I am going to get it so those marks line up exactly. Okay, I like to bang on the steering wheel a little bit, and that actually loosens it up. We're going to take note of where these wires are passing through. It looks like one of them is caught on a clip here. I'm going to slide that off like that. All right, and we see these wires are passing through this bottom part right there. We're going to take note of that. There goes our steering wheel. All right, now we got to get these covers off, and well, let's see here. So I'm not actually familiar with this. Usually I've got screws on the bottom here, but it looks like we've got, once again, some tabs right here, so we're going to remove these. This is a different design than others that I've worked on. All right, good. Looks like a regular Phillips screw there. And here as well. Okay, so here's our clock spring here, and you'll notice this is going to rotate independently. We want to maintain that in its position there. We do not want to rotate it a turn because otherwise we're going to be off, not only on our steering angle sensor and everything, but if you turn the car to the right too much now, you're just going to break the clock spring. So we want to maintain that in its position. And I'm hoping these clamshells come off. There's our top right there and our bottom. And our bottom one, well, this is a little bit of a problem. So our bottom one seems to have a screw or something holding it in here. And we may have to remove this bottom kick panel here in order to access that. All right, well, looks like there's an access panel right here. I should just be able to pull off like that. And yes, indeed, there is a hole under the steering wheel. It looks like another regular Phillips. But there's this little metal strip right here that's in the way. I don't want to strip the screws, so we're gonna undo that. Okay, there we go. Okay, it looks like this is probably the mirror control here. Got a little connector for that I'm gonna remove. Okay, this top clamshell has a little leather strap here that we're just going to use a bungee cord or something to tie that out of the way. Okay, so it looks like these turn signals are held in by the same screws that the clock spring is held into. Looks like some longer screws here and some shorter ones here. I'm going to remove these shorter ones because it may be there's a reason for that, and we only need to remove those. Oh, look at that. Okay, those release the, we don't need to remove the clock spring in order to replace this, it appears. So it looks like we got this connector underneath this white connector. Once again, that pick tool probably going to be useful for that. There we go. And I'm thinking this is just going to come right out. There we go. All right, just going to put our new... All right, so we got a little kind of tab here and a hook on this metal frame here. I'm going to line those up like that. And our turn signal is aligned. Get our connector back in there. And to be honest with you guys, I mean, how easy is this? This was not a bad job at all. Everything is the reverse of what I did taking it apart, so you can figure that out on your own. I'm not a bolt spinner channel, honestly, but I think this shows sufficiently how you can replace your turn signal here. I'm going to go ahead and put this back together. All right, due to my amazing powers of observation, I can see that it does appear that this steering wheel could fit on any way. Usually I'm used to there being a flat spot or something where the steering wheel can only fit on one way. This does not appear to have that now that I'm looking at it. So I do believe it actually was off a tooth before. We are going to line that up exactly, but just a note for you guys to make sure that you pay attention to that. Honestly, have no idea the purpose of this little bar under here. It doesn't even provide a surface for the thing to clip to. I guess it's just here to annoy me. You remember these airbag wires go through the bottom like that. And then there's a little clip here to secure them. Oh yeah, and for sure, this steering wheel could be put on any position we wanted. So I'm going to set it right there. And it looks to me, well, of course, our yellow marks up. The actual notches there do seem to be perfectly aligned now. So I'm wondering if maybe somebody tried to fix this by replacing the clock spring before, possibly, I don't know. I don't care, I know the car is going to work now. Okay, and one final tip on some of these airbags, not this model particularly, but on quite a few of them, these two airbag connectors will actually have to go in a sequence. They kind of connect together like Lego bricks a little bit. So you'll have to put one connector in first. Then you want to make sure that black tab is pushed in all the way. And then the other connector will go in. This model's not like that, but there are some that they have to be removed and installed in a sequence, so just be aware of that. And then that should go back in there, and then we just have our little trim pieces and screws for the airbag, and that'll be it. All right, well, also kind of discovered during the process that there were also some other things that didn't work, like a couple of the washer positions didn't work as well as the auto lighting position and stuff, but kind of selective on some things that worked and didn't work, but that's the nature of a circuit board. So I also did cursorily scan YouTube for any videos that showed the replacement of the turn signal. It's actually called a combination switch. The replacement of a combination switch on a Infiniti G37 model or similar, and indeed was not able to find any. So if you found this channel as a result of this being the only video that shows it, then welcome, and please consider liking and subscribing and checking out some of my other videos. All right, hope you found this helpful. We'll see you next time.